What's going on, guys? Alan here with DustyHikers.com. I buy hiking shoes and walking shoes and then walk in them for a while and then review them. If that's something that might be interesting to you, please hit subscribe. And so today I want to go over the Oboz Sawtooth II and the Danner 2650 Campo. I purchased these shoes about a year ago and I did a full review of each one of these shoes. Go check out those videos. And I also did a comprehensive review of 5 different hiking shoes, and then I chose the one that I think is the best. It was neither of these, so if you want to figure out which one I think is the best one, which I have been walking in for a year and are still amazing, then also go check out that video. I'll link those here. They'll be at the end screen. These are the 2 shoes, the Danner 2650 Campo. I don't have tons of miles on these because, again, they were not my favorite of the 5 that I purchased. And then there's the Oboz Sawtooth II Low. Both of these are non-Gore-Tex. I live here in South Texas and I didn't really want a shoe that had Gore-Tex in it because it just isn't optimal down here. It doesn't rain very much and I want as much breathability as possible. Okay, so on the off chance that you are interested in buying a hiking shoe and you're undecided between the Danner 2650 Campo or the Oboz Sawtooth II, this is going to be the perfect video for you. There might be 10 of you in the world right now that are sitting there on your Amazon account thinking, oh, which one should I buy? Should I buy the Danner or should I buy the Oboz? All right, so I'm just going to ask a series of questions and then I'll decide which one fits the bill on those. So the first question is, do you need to go fast on your hiking trip? If you want to go fast, then the Danner 2650 Campo is definitely the shoe for you. I mean, look at this thing. It looks like a running shoe. It does have a rock plate, so you're going to have plenty of protection on trail, but it's going to be much faster on the trail than the Oboz Sawtooth II. The Oboz Sawtooth II is really a lot more like a decapitated boot. It's much beefier. It doesn't have a rock plate in it. It doesn't need one. It's got this really thick rubber lug sole, whereas this one has a much thinner sole. Okay, so it needs a rock plate. Okay, next question. Are you planning to carry lots of weight on your hiking trip? If you are, then you definitely want to go with this shoe, the Oboz Sawtooth II, and not the Danner 2650 Campo. This shoe is just going to provide a lot more support. There's a lot more material here. I think your feet are going to wear out a lot less wearing these than wearing the Danners. It's really more like a hiking boot, low top version, right? Like I said before, a decapitated boot. So if you're going to be carrying lots of weight, I think this is definitely the shoe that you need. Another consideration is, do you want really comfortable shoes? In my experience, this shoe, the Oboz Sawtooth II, is way more comfortable than the Danner 2650 Campo. The Danner 2650 Campo, they kind of like stripped everything down. There's not a lot of material here. There's not a lot of padding or cushioning. And I also didn't find the footbed to be particularly comfortable, at least for my foot. The Oboz Sawtooth II is much more comfortable. There's a lot of padding here. They're much heavier, obviously. There's just more kind of protection built into the shoe. And so on a long walk, probably your feet are going to be less tired with these Oboz Sawtooth II. Okay, next question. Are you expecting to get wet on your hiking trip? If you're expecting to get wet and it's not really cold, then the Danner 2650 Campo is definitely the way to go. One of the tests that I did on that big video that you need to go watch, where I choose the best hiking shoe under $150, was I dunked all 5 of the shoes in water, and then I timed them on how quickly it took them to dry, and this Danner 2650 Campo dried out way faster than any of the other shoes. And that's just because it's just got so much less material in here. It's got a lot of ventilation on the sides. This mesh material just kind of like wicks water away. It's got almost like this material here feels almost like wetsuit material. So these dry out very quickly. So if you're going to be on trail and you think you might have some river crossings and don't want to take your shoes off, or if there's going to be mud puddles and things like that, I think these would be great shoes to go with if you don't want Gore-Tex. Do you expect super rugged, rocky, rough terrain on your hike? If you do, then you definitely want to go with the Oboz Sawtooth II. There's just more protection again, more comfort, more padding. You're going to feel a lot more supported in these. Your foot's not going to feel quite as naked as it would in the Danner 2650 Campo. So this is definitely the shoe if you're planning on going on a really rugged hike. On the other hand, if you're planning on going on a hike that's on a well-beaten path that's quite smooth and there's not lots of jagged rocks, then I would suggest the Danner 2650 Campo. These are going to be just great for walking on pretty even surfaces. You're going to be able to scamper in these as well, but if you're bouldering or going over lots of rough, ragged, jagged terrain, then the Oboz would be better. Okay, last question, and I think perhaps the most important one. Do you want to look good? Now, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but I do think that the Danner Trail 2650 Campo looks way better than the Oboz Sawtooth II. It is, in the eye of the beholder. Both of these shoes, I think, have a love affair for the trail. The 2650 Campo was designed for the PCT, the Pacific Crest Trail. In fact, Campo is where the PCT starts in the south in California. So this shoe was designed for long distance hiking. It's got all these little features on here for like putting gaiters on and stuff. So these shoes just look cooler in my opinion. Although I will say the Oboz Sawtooth II has a topo map of the Sawtooth Mountains between the lugs here. There's no way you're going to be able to see that. Probably not. But there is a topo map of the Sawtooth Mountains. So if you were hiking in the Sawtooth Mountains and you got lost, you could just take your shoes off and look at the bottom and go, oh no, wait, I know where we are. We're right here. So we just need to go down this lug and to the left, and then we'll get back to the river. Probably not very useful, probably not realistic. All right, that is just a quick review for those 10 of you out there on the internet that are undecided between the Oboz Sawtooth II or the Danner Trail 2650 Campo. All right, I will see you guys in the next one. Anyway, I'm planning to do another big review where I'm gonna buy a bunch of hiking shoes, walk in them for a month or two, and then do a big review again where I decide which one is the best. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.